Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam, thanks for hanging out with me again today. And today, just a quick update video. I didn't want to just leave you guys with just a tool review on the weekend. So, 2 videos, 2 days, crazy. If you guys didn't see the video yesterday, Noah's Big sent out 2 new soldering helping hand stations for review. So these are much more budget friendly and still do an excellent job. So if you're interested, check that out here or the link down in the description below for that. So what has been going on? Spent a lot of time cleaning up trucks from the recent bash session with Al out here. I'm still looking at my big rock on the floor down there. It is covered in mud. So yeah, this one is still a mess. I mean, we've still got giant chunks of stuff hanging out of it. Yeah, this one needs some attention. So that's on the to-do list. My Gorgon isn't too bad. Probably just wipe that down real quick. The Quake is still a mess. Those, I think, are the last 2 I really have to clean up. I did get new parts for the Kagama 4S. So finally, after almost a year, I was able to drive an entire battery pack through that car. Basically, something weird with the steering geometry or pin design or something with those front CVDs. Unless you had your steering rate turned way down to where it took a country mile to turn around, you ran the risk of throwing the pins out of the CVDs and left with 3-wheel drive. So finally got the updated CVDs where they have a full aluminum cap over the knuckle, and I was able to go out there, turn the steering rate pretty much all the way up, romp it around, and it held together fine. So that will be going over to Al's probably next week for a fun day out there. We're going to do a track day where we're going to take out, I know, the Arma Typhons and the Habal TG2.0s for some fun racing. And then we're also going to try to do some semi-serious racing the best we can. We don't have track marshals, we don't have timers or anything like that. Basically, we're going to set, a 3-minute or 5-minute timer on the phone, start it, and then if anybody goes off track or flips over, we're just gonna say whoa, and the other person stops what they're doing, flip back over, and then 3, 2, 1, go, and try to make it as fair as possible, and just see how it ends up. But then of course we're gonna take over bashers. Now, speaking of bashers, I decided to go ahead and buy one of the bash ramps like Al had. And I'm happy, but I'm annoyed at the same time. And this is not against Al, not against KCRC, where I bought the ramps. Basically, it's my stupid ass government and Captain Tariff Pants screwing me up. So basically, KCRC is out of Canada. They're the ones building the ramps and selling the ramps. So I really liked Al's. It's super tough. It's absolutely perfect to launch cars off of. They got the shape and size of it really nice. And as far as size goes, they have 24, 36, and 48 inch. Well, the 48 inch is absolutely perfect because you don't have to hit it dead on. You can hit it at a little bit of an angle and you still stay on the ramp. You don't have to line it up dead nuts to get it perfectly on this, get a 20-inch wide truck on a 24-inch ramp. It's very, very hard to do. Opted for the biggest one I have, the 48-inch, and they have a standard version and a heavy-duty version. Well, Al has the heavy-duty version, so of course I'm like, I know his is plenty tough. I opted for the heavy-duty version. So basically, upsizing it, adding the heavy-duty version, and then shipping, brought that ramp up to a pretty good penny. I think it was $278 with the shipping to get it here. And I'm like, that's expensive, but it's kind of one of those buy once, cry once type of purchases that I think it's going to hold up and last for a very, very long time. And it was back ordered, so I didn't think anything of it. I think, oh, it's going to be 2 weeks, 2 months, who knows how long it's going to be. Well, 2 days later, I get a notification that, hey, your ramp shipped. I'm like, oh, wow, cool, awesome. So it's actually expected Saturday. And then Wednesday night, I get a notification from UPS that says, hey, we have your package. You now owe us $135 to be able to deliver your package. So 90 some of it was tariff, which is asinine, you know. And then the other 35 something dollars of it was the UPS tariff processing fee. So not only am I getting, victimized by the tariff, I'm also getting bent over the barrel by UPS because they have to make all these payment processing crap because of it. So, it's like double down on the pain. So now, roughly a $230 ramp, which isn't cheap, I had to pay $50 shipping on, and then I had to pay $135 on tariff and tariff processing fees. So I've almost spent as much for the shipping and the tariff crap as I did the ramp. Again, Al did not know that tariffs were in effect. He didn't have to pay tariffs on his, and I assumed I didn't either. So yeah, I'm not pleased with that whole thing, but once the ramp gets here and I'm able to, hook some cars off of it, the sting of all that stupidity will kind of go away. But yeah, they basically got a kit out of me for tariffs. Anyway, happier news. Horizon Hobbies and I guess just Proline in general and other stuff are liquidating out overstock that's either not selling or they just have entirely too much of. So I went through Horizon Hobbies to get most of the stuff, but I've also noticed that A-Main has knocked down prices, especially on Proline stuff. And so you may go over there if you would rather do A-Main. I didn't notice that until after I bought all this stuff from Horizon. First thing I got was the Spectrum Firma 100 amp ESC with the 6500 kV brushless motor included. $49. So I got two of them. I probably won't put 6500 kV motors in much, but still $49 for 100 amp brushless ESC. I can pick up a $30 motor, pair it with it, and I'm still ahead of the game. And I have, speed run motors for next year that I don't care if I smoke one. I've already got a 6500, so, if I roast that one, I've got two backups. Speaking of the Proline clearance, so they also had the Proline ProSpec aluminum racing wheels, and they had the Promoto tires on sale. So I had previously ordered the tires for the bike, thinking, okay, I'll just put them on the stock rims. Well, they're glued on. So I don't know if these have an insert that's glued onto or it's glued onto the rim, but yeah. So I looked at these when they had them. Originally, these things were $99 a piece, so no wonder they didn't sell. That's $200 to add wheels to your Promoto. That's already an expensive thing. And then, of course, you're going to buy tires to go with it, and I think they were like $35, $25 to $35 a piece for tires. So you're looking at, $250 roughly to put these and tires on your bike. So no wonder they had a whole lot of them in overstock. But they had marked them down to, I think, $42 a piece. And I was like, that's still a lot of money. That's $80 for just the rims. And then even though the tires were cheap, it's still $80 for two wheels for the bike. And it's basically just adding bling to it. Well, then they marked them down to $14.99 a piece. So yeah, we've got some new bling for the Promoto. They go together really, really nice. They look fantastic. And the Proline tires are a good bit softer feeling and have much bigger lugs on them than the stock tires do. And I'd also noticed on the Prolines, the fronts, they have like siping cut in them to where on the fronts of these, the siping is like molded in to look like siping, but these actually have, a deeper cut siping in the tires, so it actually should grip a little bit better. I don't know. It's still going to be a handful to drive, as always, but it's hilarious and too much fun not to. But the blue match perfectly with the bike. They look fantastic. So very, very happy with that upgrade. And I also bought a set for Al, so he'll have a set for his bike as well. So that's kind of what's been going on. I have made some progress on the Mini Cooper project. Some of the little bits and pieces are coming together, and that's getting much closer. So hopefully, sometime next week, Wednesday, Saturday, you guys will have a video on that. I'm going to try to get that knocked out. Do plan on going, like I said, going to Al's next week at some point to get out there for a few hours and have fun. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Been bargain shopping. What I saved here, I spent in tariffs. Yeah, it's not happy about that. But it was a gamble I made, and unfortunately, crapped out on that one. But like I said, when the ramp gets here, it'll probably take the sting out of it and be much. I'll forget about it as soon as I start hooking the 4S trucks off of them and having a good time with it. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today here, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me as always. Listen to me ramble on about what blah, 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 blah. Everybody out there, as always, you guys be happy, be healthy, be safe. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.